Have CNN political commentator Bill Press, who supports Hillary Clinton, and Trump surrogate here, Matt Schlapp, who used to be the political director for George W. Bush. Gentlemen, nice to have you back. Matt Schlapp.
Why did I know this? Why did I know this?
You know I'm coming to you first. I have love for you, Matt Schlapp, but I also have to press you, because if you have Trump saying, and you just heard the Secretary of State of Ohio saying it's not rigged, it's not rigged, it's not rigged, but Trump still says it is that really a smart argument to take 3 weeks out of Election Day?
Yes, I like the idea that he's running against the media, Brooke, no offense. I think that's actually a smart tactic. By and large, most people in this country believe that the media, the mainstream media, tends to tilt a little left. Sometimes there are worse episodes than others, and I think he's smart to take them on. Most Republicans are scared.
Take the media out of it. Let me just. I won't take offense. Let me just take the media out of it. Trump is saying the polling, but Trump is saying it's the polling places, it's the polling stations, it's the offices of the Secretary of State. That's what's rigged. Why do that?
It's a tactic to try to get everybody to realize that every vote matters. Every single person that is even considering voting for Donald Trump. We all know what's going on in the minds of a lot of voters. You just had the previous Secretary of State of Ohio. There are a lot of voters out there who are saying, okay, there are things about Donald Trump's message I love. There are things about what he has said I don't like. But yet I'm looking at Hillary Clinton. The most recent revelations coming from WikiLeaks and these FOIAs show that she is someone that I believe to be just corrupt. So voters are having to make this choice. And if every person realizes that, hey, North Carolina, Nevada, Ohio, Florida could come down to be very, very, very tight in the end. Every vote matters, and he wants them all to vote. Do I think the whole system is corrupt? I don't. I don't think our whole voting system is corrupt, and he's going to accept. That's right. And look, I've spent a lot of time in that. I spent 36 days in the Florida recount. I was in the Dade County Courthouse when they tried to take the counting behind closed doors. I think we have a pretty transparent process, and I think he said he's going to accept the election results. Mike Pence has said the same thing, and I will as well.
Go ahead, Bill.
I was just going to say, Donald Trump has not, he said in the first debate, he will accept the results of the election.
Yes, he
hasn't said it since. In the last couple of days, in fact, he has indicated that he would not. Let me just say something. If I were setting up if I knew that I was going to lose probably the biggest electoral college loss since Barry Goldwater, I'd be looking for somebody else to blame on it too, Matt. I'd be looking for somebody else. But let me tell you something. This is just the latest in the Donald Trump conspiracy theories with zero evidence. There's zero evidence that Hillary Clinton took drugs before the last debate, zero evidence that Barack Obama was born in Kenya, zero evidence that those 9 women were lying, and zero evidence that this election is corrupt. And beyond that, I think it is dangerous and un-American for Donald Trump to suggest it, because it undermines everybody's confidence in the electoral process, whether you're Republican or Democrat.
Hang on, Matt, because I want to press Bill, because still, despite everything that we have covered in the last however many weeks, and by the way, this thing's been going on 17 months, and now what you just outlined, still, when you look at some of these polls and throw them up on the screen, Becky, if we can, there are, no huge changes also in some of her favorability ratings. It is so close in Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio. She's not on the trail a ton. You still have this drip from WikiLeaks, which reinforces what Americans are worried about her. How do you explain that, Bill?
Well, I think Matt and I would agree on this point. We have said from the beginning this is going to be a close election. There is a lot of...
Why?
I'll tell you why. I'm just about to say.
Bernie Sanders was right.
There's a lot of frustration with the establishment, the political establishment, the media establishment, the financial establishment. But Donald Trump is not the answer. And I just want to point out, nothing against CNN, but there are other measures out there. Let's look at the University of Virginia. Larry Sabato, one of the best in the business. Today, his count is, I checked it, on the way up, 347 electoral votes for Hillary Clinton, 191 for Donald Trump, and zero still up for grabs. I think this is going to be an electoral college landslide.
Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, so basically what we have going on here is Bill Press was for Bernie Sanders because they believed that Hillary Clinton was a pawn of corporate interest. That she said one thing.
That's not true.
She said one. Let me go. Let me try to do my.
Don't speak for me. I'll speak for myself.
I'll do my best impersonation of Bernie Sanders, because when she appeared before corporate audiences like she did in her speeches, she said things like, we can't vet these refugees from Syria. She said things like, we should have open borders. She said things like, look, I have to have a private policy position and a public policy position. And then she'd collect her $225,000, $250,000 check. What we're seeing from Hillary Clinton is that no matter how much you throw at Donald Trump, and he has the kitchen sink resting on his head, he has had the biggest dump in October that we ever saw. And Hillary Clinton is sitting in the mid-40s. She is not liked. She's a miserable candidate, and she is not going to have a landslide victory. That is absurd.
No. You got them confused.
One of you says landslide.
You got them confused.
One of you says not so
Donald
much.
Trump is the one who's sitting in the low 40s, and he hasn't moved yet. And I just want to point out, for the record,
he had the worst month in presidential history.
If I may, oh, you talk about somebody who just had a bad month. I mean, your guy's been in the toilet for the last 2 weeks.
That's what he's saying.
Let me tell you something. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were yesterday out in I think it was Colorado, wherever, for Hillary Clinton. Bernie Sanders is in Arizona tomorrow for Hillary Clinton. There's no doubt where Bernie Sanders is. There's no doubt where Bernie Sanders supporters are. They're with Hillary Clinton because Donald Trump is uniquely unqualified and unhinged.
And on that, Bill
Bernie
Press,
was right.
Schlapp.
Bernie was right.
Thank you, guys.
Bernie is right today.
Matt and Bill, thank you so much.